Hello, sixth grade. I don't remember which grade I'm doing right now. Today is Monday, September 14th. And let's see, today we're starting on a new topic. We're going to focus this week on writing. So all of our lessons will be basically parts of the writing process after today. So basically today we went over our new spelling that I passed out on Friday. We didn't really highlight it because it's a mess to highlight. There are three different units that you're reviewing, and so there are a lot of different spelling patterns. You're welcome to find the similarities. There might be 2 or 3 words that follow the same pattern, but you do not have to do that. You should be writing your spelling words in your planner. You should be doing spelling homework every day. If you choose to use Spelling City, that's terrific. Just make sure that you don't count your spelling time as logging in time, or how, I guess you don't log into Spelling City, but you should be spending at least 15 minutes actually thinking about your words and the patterns and typing them in. I think some people are only doing this 1 day a week and it's showing on tests, so we need to make sure we're doing it every single day. So your homework the whole week will be to work on spelling for 15 minutes a day. Another thing I want to add in for homework is Typetastic. Last year, or during our Coronacation, I got a free teacher account for it. I do not have that anymore, but you can still type in typetastic.com and click on Upper Elementary. The difference is that you're not logging in with passwords and I'm not seeing your progress, but that's okay. So you click on Unit 2, All Fingers Aboard. Even if you've already done this before, it does not hurt to practice. Please make sure that your hands look more like this than this. Don't rest your wrists on the keyboard. You play how you practice, so do it correctly now, and you will one day be a fast typist who does not need to look at the keys in order to be able to type correctly. So you can click on home row. And
let's explore.
He wants me to explore.
First, you get your
balloons.
fingers. Excellent. You're ready to play.
Yeah. I'm ready to start the game. So I get my hands, I have both hands set at the moment, and I just click whatever pops up on the screen. If I make a mistake, I just fix it. I have both hands on my home row key, so I have J, K, L, and semicolon, and then I have my other hand on F, D, S, and A. It will help you be a better typist if you prepare by actually having both hands on the keyboard. So that's a quick homework assignment. Work on Typetastic for 15 minutes a day if you can, at least 10, please. Make sure you work on spelling homework, and then you should be reading 20 minutes a day, every day, whatever you want to read. We won't be having new reading assignments this week. All of what we're doing is working on writing. Today, the first thing we did was copy down this sentence that you see here, highlighted in yellow. And we talked about what seems like a mistake can turn into a great success. And maybe it's not a great success, but at least something good came out of it. And we all took turns telling stories where something started out bad, but it ended up being okay, or we learned something from it at least. I gave the story about slipping on a French fry in 5th grade and how embarrassing that was, and it seemed horrible at the time, and like I could never go back to school again in my life because I was so embarrassed. But now, 30 years later, or however long it's been, I'm not easily embarrassed anymore, and little things like that happened in my childhood have helped me grow into the person I am today, where I don't get too bothered by that kind of stuff anymore. So I guess something good did come out of it. Like I said, we all kind of told a little story of our own. And then I talked about the fact that we are working on writing personal narratives. A narrative is very simply a story, and personal just means it's my story. They don't have to be true, though. What you're going to write can be a fiction personal narrative, but for it to be personal, it needs to be written in first person, which means that it has I in it, or my, or this happened to me. And we're writing about an experience. I don't want you to write about that whole day in 5th grade. I only want you to write about the day in 5th grade when you had the experience of slipping on a French fry in front of everybody in the cafeteria, which obviously that's not something everybody's going to write about, but you're picking an important piece, an important part of your day, an important thing that happened, and focusing on that for your narrative. It's not a life story, I guess, is what I'm telling you. And I did a read aloud out of Isabella for Real, and I can do a short one for you guys. And basically, you're listening for what her friends want her to do. Isabella is a kid who has just moved to a new school, and everybody thinks that she is the daughter of a really rich dad, and when they mistook her for somebody she wasn't, she did not correct them. She thought, well, makes me popular and I'll just keep going with it. And so she is kind of regretting living a lie. And so you're gonna, like I said, find out what her friends want her to do. Emery is one of her friends sitting at the lunch table with her. Emery dropped her napkin on the table. Big phony. My heart jumped into my throat, and that eggplant I just swallowed felt like it was changing course. Phony? I said as Emery looked in my direction with cold, narrowing eyes. Phony, she repeated. Something told me that Snowball was about to go splat. I slowly lifted my butt off the chair and got ready to make a quick exit from Fortier and back to my old school at Belleville. I just hoped Aunt Kiki was going to be able to get a refund on the big bucks tuition. Will you look at that phony Jenna Colson sitting over there at the corner table, all smiles, waving at the four of us, so sweet and friendly? Huh? Jenna Colson? My rear end touched down with a soft landing on the seat of the chair, and I took a breath, relieved it wasn't my name uttered through those gritted teeth. Why do you call her a phony? Because she pretends to be your friend, but it's all a big act. You have no idea, Isabella, said Oakley. Jenna has spent every year at Fortier conning people into thinking she's a certain type of person when she's totally the opposite. But we totally have her number. Those days of fooling us are over. What did she do? What did she do? She pretended to help Anisha with a history project, but she was really after information to sabotage her during student council election. We were both running for treasurer, Anisha said. At the end of our debate, she accused me of being dishonest. Me, as if I would lie about not returning a library book. She was brutal, turned the election upside down. Well, she cornered me yesterday at my locker, Oakley said, looking over her shoulder and giving Jenna a little wave. She told me she's running for student council president this year. Oh, great, groaned Emery, putting both elbows on the table and cupping her face in her hands. Anisha turned to me and sighed. Besides, digging up dirt, Jenna also influences votes around here with candy. Candy? Her parents own the biggest candy store in the city. Oakley tapped her bottom teeth with one stem of her glasses and looked up to the ceiling. If only we could think of a way to beat her. To beat Jenna Colson, said Anisha, you have to be a person in the school with a clean slate and no baggage. That's it, said Oakley. What's it? Asked Anisha. We put up a candidate who doesn't have any baggage, who doesn't have any secrets. Anisha grinned. I like it. We take away her ammunition. Okay, you two, I admit that sounds like a good idea, said Emery, but who do we nominate? Oakley leaned back and folded her arms. I don't know about you girls, but I'm thinking we have the perfect candidate sitting right here at this table. Me? I said, spraying the last gulp of water across the table. Whoa, 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 wait a second. I sputtered nervously, grabbed napkins, and mopped myself up. Me? Me is not a good idea. So what do her friends want her to do? If you're thinking they want her to run against that Jenna gal for student council president, you are right. I hope you noticed that in this personal narrative that Miss Isabella uses I, and she says, me? You want me to run? So you're noticing the first person language. And I hope you also notice there's a lot of dialogue where the characters are talking back and forth, because that is what you will be putting in your narrative that we will start writing tomorrow. That is it for today. You should have this written down somewhere important because you're going to need to remember it. Have a good day.